All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're cracking open the first chapter of a brand new story called The Ink of Silent Wrath. It's a world where your destiny is decided for you, but there's a quiet rebellion just bubbling under the surface. Let's get to it. So the story kicks off with this poem, and honestly, it tells you everything you need to know. It's all right there. Themes of control, of destiny being out of your hands, and that deep, simmering anger that grows when you're trapped. This isn't just a pretty intro. It's basically a promise of the massive conflict that's on its way. And here we go, our setting. We're in the remote Julie province. But look at that second line. The clock is already ticking. 2 days until the awakening. Whatever this is, it's close. You can just feel this sense of dread hanging in the air. So that brings us right to our first big idea here, a destiny decreed. We're talking about a future that isn't earned or chosen, but one that is handed to you, whether you like it or not. And here's our guy, Yan Shu. He's just 14, and he's out in this ancient forest, just trying to grab one last moment of quiet. You can see he looks calm on the outside, but you just know, underneath, he is absolutely terrified about what's coming. This moment when his entire life is going to be laid out for him. So what is this awakening he's so scared of? It's the Grand Awakening ceremony, and you have to understand, this is way more than just a typical coming-of-age thing. The clan is literally going to analyze his soul, his very essence, to figure out his potential, his status, his entire future. No pressure, right? This ceremony is the source of all that anxiety. But to really get why this ceremony is so terrifying for him, we have to go back. The story pulls us 5 years into the past, into a single memory that completely shaped the person he is today. And that memory is what this next part is all about. The memory of cages. The scene shifts completely. We're in a tiny, plague-ridden cottage. A disease called the red spot fever is just tearing through the clan. We see Yan Shu, but he's only 9. His mother, Li Na, is sick, and his father, Yan Lo, is a healer who's just bone-tired and completely overwhelmed. The whole place just reeks of despair. And this is where the clan's true colors come out. It's absolutely brutal. When the plague hit, the core lineages, the important families, they were sealed away, protected, kept safe for the future. But everyone else, the branch families, like Yanshu's, they were considered expendable, left to die for the greater good. This wasn't just bad luck, this was policy. And with her dying breaths, his mother gives him this unforgettable lesson. She tells him the world isn't free. It's a system of cages. Not literal cages with bars, but invisible ones. Your clan, your status, your potential. She's telling him that these systems exist to tell you who you are and to write your story for you before you even get a chance to pick up the pen. And here's a breakdown of exactly what she meant. The cages are layered. First, there's your clan status, all based on how pure your bloodline is. Then your birthright. His own mother was considered illegitimate, and that sealed her fate. And the final cage, your core grade. The very thing they're about to determine at the awakening. Each one is just another wall boxing you in. Just when you think it can't get any worse, after his mother dies, the trauma gets even deeper. It's time for his father's final lesson. Yan Shu's father, Yan Lo, he picks up that same metaphor. He admits his life as a healer was its own kind of cage, a role forced on him. But it was a cage he could live with, because he had his wife, Li Na, inside it with him. Now that she's gone, the walls are just walls, and his cage is empty. And this, right here, this is the most important thing his father tells him. It's a desperate plea. He's saying, look, I know they're going to try to write your story, but you have to fight them. Don't let them fill in all the pages. You have to leave some blanks for the person you choose to become. And then, in one last absolutely heartbreaking act of sacrifice, Yan Lo takes his own life. He sees it as one final gift to his son. He's sparing Yan Shu the pain of having to watch him waste away from the plague. It's this tragic, twisted attempt to free his son from one last chain. And with that, the memory ends. We're pulled back to the present day to see the young man that all this trauma has forged. We're back in the forest, and the story tells us that the silence that fell over that little cottage 5 years ago, it never left Yan Shu. That past isn't just something he remembers. It's baked into his very being. It's why he's the quiet, observant, and resilient kid we see now. So where's he been for the last 5 years? Living in a new cage. He was taken in by the clan leader himself. They even gave him a new name, Jinyan Shu, which his father would have called the first chain. He's been taught their rigid doctrines. He's learned all the politics. He's played the part of the perfect, obedient ward. But all the while, he's been remembering. And that brings us to the real question here. The question the entire story is going to be about. In 2 days, the clan thinks they're going to decide his future. They're going to write it all down. But after everything we've seen, who do you think is really in control of the story? And the chapter ends on this. Wow, what a powerful, chilling line. The clan, they think they hold all the power. They have the brush ready to paint his destiny. But Yan Shu has made a decision. He's going to be the ink. And you just know, it's not going to be the color they're expecting. What a setup for a story about quiet, coiled, and ready to strike rebellion.